You are now listening to the Collecting Weekly podcast.
Hey guys, my name is Zach.
I'm Dean.
I'm Manny.
I'm Rainer.
And I'm Jesse.
Welcome to this year's first ever Collecting Weekly Figure of the Year Awards for 2018.
Yay.
This is going to be the yearly podcast. Once a year we'll do this, where my friends and I talk about the figures and the companies that matter the most to us this year in collecting. If it's your first time with us, our content is available on YouTube, iTunes, Spotify, SoundCloud, Instagram, and Facebook, all by searching Collecting Weekly. So we've made it to the end of the year. There's lots of things that we've enjoyed this year in collecting. What do you guys think?
I love all the memes.
The memes have been good. Memes Giving was good. Geeks Giving, the SDCC memes were good. So basically the way that we're going to do this show, we've all nominated figures and companies in different categories. And with the exception of one, these are all new to us. We're going to be sharing them for the first time with each other. But we're going to start with our most improved company of the year. Then we're going to move to 1/12th scale figure of the year. Our biggest disappointment of the year, our figure company of the year, and our 1/6 figure of the year as the send-off. And then we're going to talk about our most anticipated figure release of 2019. We're each going to nominate one in this category, so there'll be up to 5 in each. We'll narrow it down to 2. We'll do a live vote, and then we'll announce our winners. So for the start of the podcast, like I said, we're going to talk about the most improved company of the year. Dean, did you want to lead us off here? This is the one that last week...
The most improved,
yeah. So basically, a lot of companies have stepped up their game this year, and a lot of companies stepped up the game this year, and we're trying to honor those that have. Now, when I shared this with the guys, like I said, there was one category where we kind of talked about it beforehand because it was kind of out there, but I think we all agreed what that company was. Do we want to, on the count of 3, just announce it?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Hasbro
killed it this year.
Yeah.
Jesse, I know you're into the one-to-one stuff. Do you want to talk about some of Hasbro's one-to-one stuff?
I mean, mostly I just wanted to talk about the figures. I mean, with the new face recognition like with the faces and stuff. But their one-to-one stuff, I don't really connect their one-to-one stuff, so I don't have an opinion on that.
Swing and miss. Well, their one-to-one stuff is really good. I mean, there was some misfires, but like their Stormtrooper helmets, for the price, dude, the white ones, the Shadow Troopers, the Shock Troopers.
The Stormtrooper helmet is awesome.
The fact that you could buy those for like, they retail for $100, but like at Target they were always like $80, and then for the holiday they were like $50. Those display really well. They're wearable. They have some microphones for the kids, which, depending on the level of collector you are, you might not like. But like Jesse said, the face tech is really crazy. Dean has some of their figures here for us to take a look at.
Yeah, specifically the General Veers Black Series is, in my opinion, the best Black Series figure that has ever been released.
I don't think I've ever seen one in person.
It's amazing with the face printing tech, the accessories that it came with,
and a lot of it's original sculpt too.
Yeah, because a lot of times their Black Series figures don't come with anything. Like it's just like a figure and like maybe a blaster, and you're just like, okay. But with General Veers, the likeness, the shelf presence is just
his posture, like,
dude,
wow.
They knocked
He
it
looks
out
like an
of the park.
officer.
They nailed it.
It's amazing.
And the crazy part for me is like, when people would complain about Black Series like last year, and I would always say, well, they're only $20. Like, what do you expect? Like, Figure Arts is $60 to $100 depending on the figure. And people were saying, well, the paint apps look like crap. The sculpting was always really good, but it was really the paint apps that let it down. But now that they're keeping it at $20 with the digital face printing, it's like I really don't even see the need for Figure Arts anymore. I mean, they're not honestly, really that much worse.
They're almost more articulated just because, I don't know, Figure Arts are a little delicate and sometimes they won't hold a pose. Mm-hmm. But yeah, at a third the cost, and
you can go anywhere to find them.
Yeah, you could go to anywhere to
get
them. The availability and the price point is just Hasbro really killed it this year.
Yeah, I think if this year is any indication of what we have to look forward for next year, they have a pretty high bar. Honestly, for company of the year, I considered it, but I think there was another company that beat it out just a little bit better.
Yeah.
But I mean, they just all around the board. Even with Legends, they started doing some face printing on the Legends stuff. the Build-A-Figure waves. I know you were saying you're looking for the M'Baku from...
oh, yeah. M'Baku from the Black Panther wave, the second Black Panther wave. Can't wait. I don't know when it comes out. I think it's sometime December.
Yeah, not only that, but like I think they do the Titan series as well, the 12-inch, the 5 POA line. I mean, it's just like, literally like they just took it to the next level this year. I mean, with that R2 that I got from Manny, which we'll post a video on the YouTube, that was $8, and it literally, like when you paint it up, looks like it can rival the Hot Toys, which really says a lot. So for our first ever CW award, rewarding Hasbro, the most improved company of 2018.
Yay!
Round of applause.
Poet claps.
Right? Mic taps. So for 1/12 scale figure of the year, this isn't exactly just 1/12 scale. I know there's some figures like NECA, which they're like not exactly 1/12. There's, you know, like the Robot Spirits, Gypsy Avengers stuff. Like those are like 1/2700th scale. Basically anything approximately 6 inches or less. So I'll let Dean lead us off with our 1/12 scale figure of the year.
Mine is the SH Figure Arts Bulma from Dragon Ball. This comes with a ton of accessories, but I just think it translates into such an awesome figure. It was an easy buy. I got it at a con. It was like $5 more than retail, but I was like, I have to have this immediately.
Yeah.
It's just amazing.
Manny, did you want to share your 1/12 scale figure of the year?
Yes, it's the Mezco Myers. It's from the 1978 film. I think they blew it out of the water. It's pretty freaking sweet.
You want to tell the folks what it comes with?
It comes with a little light up pumpkin, the classic pumpkin, iconic pumpkin, and it also comes with a couple hands. I want to say that it comes with a knife, or a clean knife, and a bloody knife.
A Kniffy?
It's a Kniffy, yes. It's really, really sweet. I think they nailed it. It's pretty cool.
All right, Jesse, did you want to share your 1/12 scale figure of the year?
Yes, mine is also the Mezco Myers. As you can see, the people here and our live audience. Shout out to the fiancés.
Yes, the fiancés are here.
Yay, shout out. The Mezco, of course. Everything about it, the posability, the cloth, it comes with that.
The costume.
The
Nice.
costume with the glasses and the. So everything about it is just beautiful. I like it.
It's my first Mezco figure too, so
Yeah,
same here.
I'm not a huge fan of Mezco, but
I had the Mezco Miles Morales, and I really didn't like it. But I think that kind of figure lends itself to not translating super well to 12 scale with fabric, because you want to keep it in a dynamic pose, and the suit, which is glued at the wrists and the ankles, will stretch over time. But I remember when I didn't know that you had it, Jesse, but when Manny showed me his unboxing pics, and you showed me the tailoring, like it was.
yeah.
I thought you were showing me your
done.
6 scale Tenella.
It's really, really
like,
good.
It's pretty good. The
The
weather is
weather
really
on it
great.
is amazing.
I was very impressed.
Yeah.
Rainer, did you have a 12th scale that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, I do. I want to lead off with, I really don't venture much in the 12th scale aside from the Black Series, so naturally my figure is going to be from the Black Series line. But I feel Captain Rex from Black Series is my figure of the year, 1/12.
Nice.
I think that's an amazing figure. I thought it was kind of odd that they rushed the SDCC release and didn't give it the face printing.
It was actually a HasCon, I thought.
Yeah.
HasCon.
HasCon.
And when the retail release came out, because I had thought the HasCon one was kind of a miss, and then when I saw the retail on the shelf, that thing is better. It's not really painted, it's printed, but the sculpt on that is better than the sideshow.
Yeah.
Both sideshow sculpts,
Leaps
which
and bounds.
is a lot to say.
Yeah.
Especially because that sculpt, I mean, I guess technically even the sideshow one, but they're artist interpretations, because we only have the actor, but we just,
Right.
you know what I mean? Like, it's just the cartoon stuff. But yeah, that figure is really good. For me, I also picked a Figure Arts figure, which was the Figure Arts Kid Goku from Dragon Ball. You just got a lot. You got the Dragon Ball, you got the pole,
Nimbus.
you got the Nimbus Cloud. It really, to me, was like just an amazing figure.
Yeah, the box is heavy. When I picked it up,
Yeah,
because
because it was kind of a pricey figure for it being like 4 inches tall, but you really get a lot. Lots of different face expressions, ton of hands. I think maybe the tail was kind of the weak point for the
two
figure.
tails. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, because they would fall out pretty easily. But I could definitely overlook those with everything else that was in the box. So with that being said, we've all given our nominations. I think for sure we go with Mezco Myers as one of our 2 to vote for. Can we narrow it down to a second? I would say Bulma for me is probably better than Kid Goku. I think I still don't like the way the pants look on Kid Goku in the back.
Right.
And Bulma is just it's an amazing figure. I thought it would be difficult because she has pants on one leg and then the bare skin on the other, but they really killed it on that one.
Yeah.
Can we agree that maybe Bulma might be our second choice?
Yeah,
I can agree with
That's
that.
fine.
Okay. All right, so we will do our live vote for our 1/12 scale CW award. Everyone put their head down. I'm just kidding. Okay, so for Mezco Myers, can we get the show of hands?
me. Look at that right there.
And then
Winner.
That's
That's
half the room.
Bulma. So Bulma losing 3-2 to Mezco Myers.
Yeah,
as a 1/12 scale
I'm
figure
not
of the year.
even-
That's not even upsetting. I mean,
Yeah.
that figure is insane.
I want it, and I'm not even that big of a fan of Michael Myers.
I've only seen half the movie, and I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, the tailoring on that suit and the weathering, that like subtle brown wash that it's had.
It looks really good.
It's beautiful.
So congratulations,
Yeah.
Mezco, being our
Yeah.
1/12 scale figure of the year. Biggest disappointment, I'll start out this one. So this is the figure that we were really looking forward to, that we thought, from the source material or from just the pre-order picks, that we thought would be an absolute banger. And once it was released, quickly changed our minds.
Oh, yeah.
And again, like I said, we're sharing these live. So for me, the most disappointing figure this year has to be, without a doubt, the Hot Toys Infinity War Iron Spider. I've seen reviews from people that I really respect, people that are really level-headed collectors, where they're not quick to just completely destroy a figure. And specifically D Knight on YouTube and Denobi 2 on YouTube. Both of these guys went into this unboxing being super hyped, loved the film, and by the end of the video, their souls were like crushed.
Right.
The fact that D Knight was like heating up the Iron Spider with his air heater, like a little portable heater to try to fix the wrinkling, was bananas. Like, these guys are barely posing this. We have it pulled up on the TV, and the figure is just falling apart. I can't see this figure lasting, 6 months in a collection where you're posing it routinely.
And that's when I pick it up, when everybody's trying to
right. Manny, did you want to share your biggest disappointment this year?
Yeah, it's not a figure. It's the Black Series Vader helmet.
Dude, I'm right there with you.
Oh yeah, that's a good one.
Dude, I remember watching. It was some video that it was like pictures somebody shared, and it was the Vader helmet, like at a Comic-Con or something, and that thing looked promising. I was
Dude,
like,
it looked-
oh my god.
It looked good.
I don't think they showed it like all together. I think it was like in separate
It
pieces, like the
exploded.
dome.
And
was
that's the
over.
best look for it.
Yeah, and it's like,
personally.
whoa. But then when you saw it in person, when I saw it in first, like I went to Think Geek, I think with Dean actually, and it was right there, and I was like, ugh.
It's so small. Like, I get
Yeah.
that it's for kids. It's just way too small.
But even the Stormtrooper bucket is a pretty good scale.
Yeah.
And the Vader helmet.
The
is just-
Stormtrooper looks
I
damn
have
good on the
the
shelf.
I have the GameStop exclusive Shock Trooper one, and that
Yeah.
one's a heck
Yeah,
of
I've
a
seen
lot
the
bigger.
pictures. It looks good.
That's cool.
Nice.
Yeah, but that Vader helmet is just.
Yeah, it's
Underwhelming.
It's
Yeah.
really not good.
That's probably the best word for it. Underwhelming.
Dean, did you want to talk about your biggest disappointment this year?
Yeah, which is insane because it's also like my favorite figure of the year. Actually, it's not my favorite figure of the year, but it's one of the favorites that I've picked up personally. And it's the tech suit Homecoming Spider-Man.
Ooh,
Hot
no competition
Toys.
here for
Dude.
worst most disappointment.
I know exactly what you mean.
It's just one of those figures that like you want it so bad and then you get it and then you can't really do anything with it in terms of dynamic poses, which is arguably one of the most dynamic pose characters ever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
He's like a gymnast. You want to pose him in like crazy, wacky poses, and
right, and you just can't. And the fact that they didn't get it right this time and then missed the mark again for the Iron Spider is mind blowing. And I love this figure.
How did you get yours? You got it at a comic store.
Yeah, I got it at a comic store when his prices were like $400.
Yeah, and you paid pretty close to retail.
$270. Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
and it was
not
the
bad,
deluxe,
actually.
right?
Yeah, the deluxe for $270.
Oh, you have the deluxe.
Yeah.
Manny,
I
you've
have just
also
the
had
regular.
issues with your irons or with your Spider-Man.
Yeah, the little clamps that come with the what is it called? Is there a
Like
name?
the
for it?
hip grabber. or
Yeah.
something?
Yeah.
So I
Cross
had him.
grab.
I had him. Grabbed by the hips. That don't sound right. Let me. I had
Were you
the
standing
spider.
behind the figure, grabbing him by the waist?
No, I had him.
Baby, when you dip, I dip.
I had the clamps right there on his hips. Man, that does not sound right any way I say it. But I had him like that for, I say, maybe like 2 months, and I never moved him. And then finally I was like, you know what? I want to go ahead and pose him a different way. Well, right when I took the figure off, I noticed that I guess it ate into the suit and caused 2 permanent holes. They're there. They're still there. But
Well, not holes, but like indents.
it's like an indent in the material.
I think the thing that really annoys me for you though is you didn't pose it dynamically for
I
2
did
months
not.
because you didn't.
For that
want it
very
to get
reason, I
ruined.
don't want to ruin it.
And then I remember that
That's-
heartbreaking text when you're like, "Guys,
Yeah.
what the fuck?"
Yeah,
So-
I was fortunate enough that they didn't have it in too dynamic of a pose. That when I got it home, he's just standing.
He's just a museum
it's
pose.
super disappointing, which is insane because it's such a beautiful figure.
Yeah, I the way I have him posed now, I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
It doesn't really stretch out the material, and I'll see if I can find a picture for you guys. But
Yeah. Jesse, did you want to talk about your biggest disappointment this year?
Yeah, my biggest disappointment was I was really looking forward to that sideshow Mythos Ben because their statue is incredible.
Yeah.
Beautiful statue. I think when it came out it was like $350, and now it retail or not retails but like in the second, third markets, whatever, it's $1,500.
Yeah,
So I was really looking forward to this 1/6 scale figure, and the prototype was beautiful. I was like, okay, and they're always trying to charge hot toy prices, and they're not hot toy prices. They're not. So finally, when they released the final figure, it was a huge letdown. Like the robes look like piss yellow. It looks like he's been peeing himself for years. Accessories, I mean, it does come with quite a bit of accessories, but the face sculpt is like he looks sort of Asian. I don't know what's going on with the figure. Yeah, I mean, that was one of the biggest letdowns. I still look at it thinking maybe I can do something with it. No. I don't think I would accept it even for free.
I think it would look really cool if you put the head that you have on your Ben Kenobi here on that figure. I think that'd look awesome.
Yeah,
But the fact that they didn't pick one actor and they just made like a mismatch,
yeah.
Right.
just is a
Also,
huge
the
letdown.
weathering seems lacking. Like it should be more.
Yeah.
Because like I won't even say it's tattered. It doesn't even like even this robe is frayed edges.
Which is,
like,
you have the Hot Toys
Yeah.
Old Man Ben Kenobi.
A
in
New
front of you.
Hope, yeah. And that one, it just looks like there's no.
There's nothing happening.
Yeah, it's
There's
crazy.
no weathering. The robes were. I think the robes are the big disappointment.
It's just like a weird color.
It's a weird color. It
That's
just,
not weathering. It's just a color.
yeah, it just looks
Yeah.
faded in the sun. Like it's not great. That's my choice for the.
Do you guys think that Ben Kenobi and Obi-Wan Kenobi are the same person?
I don't know, dude.
Just kidding. Zach, your biggest disappointment this year?
Oh man, this is gonna be probably one we've heard 1,000 times, but my biggest disappointment's The Last Jedi, and specifically the Hot Toys Jedi Training Ray. I was so hyped for that figure when it was announced. Then I saw The Last Jedi, and it just completely took it out of me.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
did not want that figure after that movie.
So yours is more the source material.
More of the source material.
A different take on disappointment, but.
I mean, yeah, we
disappointment-
kind of left it open.
Disappointment nonetheless, but I completely agree with what you're saying.
Well, and the thing about it is, like, I saw the pre-order pictures for that figure. I looked at it and I was like, this is going to be awesome. I'm going to love this. This is going to be awesome addition to my collection. And after I walked out of the theater, I was like, yeah, I got to cancel that
yeah.
pre-order.
Like, objectively, it's a cooler looking figure than
The desert one.
than
I
Jakku
disagree.
Ray.
I disagree big time.
Really?
You
Yeah.
own the desert one?
I do.
The desert
both
one
own
looks
desert one.
incredible.
It
When you
does.
get it dressed up with the mask.
Yeah. There's a lot of stuff on it, and I'll concur with you there. But just I don't know. She actually
I would say that sculpt
looks the part.
looks nothing like.
I think it went a
Daisy
step
Ridley.
down.
Yeah, from the
desert
pre-order
one.
to this one, I don't really see.
I guess I really haven't seen other than the promo pictures.
I mean, it looks like she's got too much forehead going on too. I mean,
Yeah.
I will admit that.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Zach's figure was TLJ Ray. So can we narrow this down to two? We have some Spider-Mans. We have not the 1-to-1 helmet. We have some other stuff that we've talked about.
I'll switch mine with the Iron Spider-Man.
Yeah, I'm gonna say Iron Spider.
So
too.
Iron Spider, and then can we pick a second?
I guess I could go with Iron Spider just because.
I think the second for me would be like a Mythos Ben.
Oh, I'm sorry, I misunderstood what you're saying.
Yeah.
Mythos.
I think Mythos Ben and Iron Spider.
Mythos Ben.
And I know there's a lot of people that really like the Ben that have gotten it, and I've also seen an equal number of people that have gotten it and immediately sold it. So we should put that out there. There are people that like it, and if you do, that's perfectly fine. But,
Yeah, everyone's entitled.
Yeah, because
to
I have figures that like, people aren't really into, but I
Yeah.
see people selling that figure like a week
Right
later,
away.
right away.
People are definitely entitled to their own wrong opinion.
Right.
So let's get a show of hands for Ben Kenobi, the Mythos Ben Kenobi. Show of hands. All right,
Oh.
and then for Iron Spider, show of hands. So
Yeah.
unanimous.
I honestly, like I said, I can't believe they couldn't get it right after the first one.
There was
After
problems with the
tech suit.
magnets with the head that you saw.
Yeah. Do you think that-
Dude, I like the magnets.
So there's a discussion that's going on where maybe Hot Toys should have done a jointed figure, like a die-cast.
That's what I
jointed.
suggested.
That would've
And
been badass.
The company RE Edit or something like that. They make a 1/6 scale comic Iron Spider, and it looks incredible. It's a jointed figure.
Yeah.
It
the
looks.
red and gold one.
Yeah,
right?
the red and gold one.
Considering it's an
believe that's a
Iron
Civil War.
Spider, they could have done a Iron Man style Spider-Man.
Yeah.
They've made tons of Iron Man. I don't know why they didn't just.
I'm sure
do
it wouldn't
that.
be hard for them, right?
No.
See, what I was thinking almost with this figure is it would have been cool if it was like almost like a Kotobukiya where you had like arms that swapped out at the shoulder, where you can still get your dynamic posing. Maybe not as many, but the lines are clean. You can make the arms out of fabric, and you can kind of hide some of those crimes. I thought that would have been really cool. I mean, I really think that's the only way you could have done it is either jointed, like Kotobukiya style, or the way they went, which is fabric. But I really don't like it. It's
Yeah, I mean,
really
you can't
bad.
even get the arms up at 90 degrees
Yeah.
forward, and then the joint.
And
the
the thing that-
elbow is not even 90. It's
Yeah.
like, what is this?
I know our friend Eric pre-ordered most of the Infinity War line
Shout out
specifically
Eric.
for the scene where everyone's trying to get the glove off of Thanos, and I think he was saying like with the way that the characters can articulate, he can't even achieve that pose, and he's already dropped like over $100 in NRDs plus the monthly payments.
Right.
I just feel really bad about it.
I don't. That's his fault.
So our 2018 biggest disappointment of the year goes to Hot Toys Iron Spider. Congratulations, I guess.
I mean, doing
Congrats.
claps. Congrats, you
Yeah, I
suck.
feel like playing like a trumpet.
But yes, I will pick him up when somebody wants to sell him for super cheap because it's.
No, don't get me wrong. Like you get him a good pose,
Yeah.
and like with the claw. What is it? Like the
The
The arms.
the arms.
Spider
it looks
legs.
dope, but you know.
yeah. I know, yeah.
So moving
Moving on.
forward, we have our figure company of the year. Dean, I'll let you kick this one off. Figure company of the year. So this is the company overall with everything that they've released that you think is the best.
I'm gonna go with Bandai because not only do they have the figure arts line, but then our recent favorite,
the Dragon.
Dragon Stars. But then they also kicked off all their Power Ranger stuff into a 6-inch line that's very well articulated. That's not crazy expensive like the figure arts. Same thing they did with the Dragon Stars. They're just
Their model kits this year have been
Their model
insane.
kits,
The
figurized.
the figure
The
arts are
Star
really
Wars
good, but their
Bandai
Gundam
kits.
model kits, the Star Wars,
Dude.
the
Falcon.
Robot Spirits, which is like the budget $20. The movie escaped me. Pacific Rim line
Yeah.
is incredible. To me, that was like the most bang for the buck figure that I got this
Yeah.
year. I would have to agree. That's a pretty good choice.
Yeah,
for
Bandai
me,
just
for me, I'm gonna go with Asmus. Hot
Ooh.
Toys had a lot of good figures this year, but they also had a lot of big missteps. Disappointments. Just the fact that Asmus is putting out these Lord of the Rings slim figures for like $120, like full figure, hand, stand, box, shipping. That's incredible. They've also teased some much needed. They've also teased some much needed re-releases with Gandalf. They've said that they've confirmed that they're gonna make both either the gray or the white. That they're gonna revisit that. They also do stuff They also do stuff where they, if they make an upgrade, they'll sell just the head by itself. So
I love that.
Oh, that's
that is
nice.
so neat. Now,
I didn't know they did
there
that.
is some controversy because some people who get the head separately, they say they're painted to a little less of a quality than the full release. And I've definitely seen some pictures where it does look that way. But just the fact that you could either buy into this when they're first released, you can buy a slim figure down the road, which is, they call it simple, less is more. So it's like you don't get all the accessories. And then you can buy the head sculpt if you bought the first figure, because usually they'll upgrade the head sculpt for the slim version. I mean, that's like the whole package. Like, I really wish Hot Toys would do that with the Luke that we talked about last week.
Yeah.
Yeah, big time.
But for me, they're my company of the year. I mean, most figures that they've released were really good. The Boromir specifically is probably one of the best. Who was the dwarf? Remind me. Gimli. The Gimli that they released with the rooted hair, the rooted beard, thank you, is incredible. They delayed that figure release, I think, for like 2 months because a big batch of the armors that they got in had some very small imperfections, and they wanted it to be perfect. They've also released Bilbo this year, which looks really solid. For me, they just had a really good year, and for me, they're my company of the year. Jesse, did you want to talk about your company of the year?
My company of the year, I'm gonna pick Hot Toys. So far, everything that not everything, but most of the things that I've wanted they've knocked it out of the park, including this one right here that we'll talk about in a minute. For you guys listening, check out our Instagram, Collecting Weekly, and you guys can see everything on there. So Hot Toys, I really don't have much to say really.
Yeah, dude.
about
Yeah,
Hot Toys.
they're
Hot Toys.
You're in agreement, Manny?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm in agreement too.
Oh wow, okay, so we got 3 for Hot Toys, so I don't even think we really need to vote, but I would definitely agree with you. Like, I think you made a really good point last week, Manny, where you mentioned, like, you know, Blitzway put out this really solid figure in the Hannibal Lecter, and we just tore that apart. And I don't know if you mentioned on the podcast or you mentioned privately, but you had mentioned, like, Hot Toys has really spoiled us. Like, they've really set the bar. The figures that they're releasing, they've announced that they're releasing, it's game changing.
Well, for example, like I have Thor Ragnarok Thor, and that head sculpt versus Infinity War, that's just a couple months difference. You see them side by side, and you're like, wow, what the heck?
Yeah.
They were released the same year, so that's just the improvements that they're making within the year. I can't wait. I mean, next year, what are they gonna do? So
Yeah.
I'm
Dude,
excited. Shrink Ray.
I mean, they got some bangers.
Shrink Ray,
right?
yes.
They got some bangers coming out next year. They got the Mark 7 diecast. I was really surprised they reused the base from the Terminator, but they're really killing it this year.
Every Hot Toys figure I've bought this year has not been a disappointment in any
same.
form or fashion.
Dude, there was somebody on the page. Even if I wanted to say his name, I couldn't remember. But he posted somebody's eyelash or something, and he said, this looks like a doll?" I'm like,
they're all
Yeah.
look 1/6 scale dolls.
yes.
So he was showing the Jason Momoa
Oh yes.
Aquaman
Yes.
super zoomed in on
Yeah.
the pre-order shots and was
Yeah.
like, these eyelashes look terrible.
Look
It's
like a doll.
Bro, if that's your biggest issue with this figure, then they must be doing pretty good.
Yeah.
Now, I will say Hot Toys has had some missteps this year. Obviously, we talked about the Spider-Man, but, you know, not finishing certain lines like the Justice League. I think they're missing Cyborg as officially confirmed, which is really annoying. But can we all agree here that maybe Hot Toys is our choice for Company of the Year?
Never.
Oh, yeah.
Bandai or die.
All right, so we got
Okay, then
Bandai.
die.
All right, well I'm dying next to Hot Toys.
I'll switch mine to Hot Toys. I think that's a pretty good.
All
All right,
Sorry.
looks like we're all killing Dean tonight.
Right. So congratulations, Hot Toys,
Okay,
for winning
one.
our
I'm clapping for
figure
that.
company
Wait.
of the year.
I just want to say, how dare y'all?
How dare you?
It's on tape. We got the recording. Moving on to our biggest, most highest prestige award. The creme de la creme, the top shelf.
The cream
Less-
rises to the top.
Right? Less companies and figures have won CW awards and people have been on the moon. So this is telling you how big a deal this is, guys.
Yeah.
Our 1/6 scale figure of the year. Manny, I'm gonna let you kick it off.
Ooh.
I know you've
Okay.
you've been really excited about this one.
You know, I don't own him, and I wish I did, but it really wouldn't make sense now because I don't have Star Lord anymore. But I'm gonna say Shrink Ray, Hot Toys Yondu.
Ooh, that's a good pick.
It's Shrink Ray. Like, it's so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
That's all I-
likeness, the accessories.
You get the
Yeah.
yeah.
It's really something.
Do you get both? What is it? Fins?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get like the little one and the big
The
one.
little one and the big one.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, that's a nice figure.
It's very nice.
They really killed it on the Game of Thrones line. Or not the Game of Thrones. Wow, the Guardians of the Galaxy line.
Whoa,
Sorry,
Game of
it's been a long
That's
day.
3-0, buddy.
Previewing our next podcast.
I hadn't seen the movie and that head sculpt because I used to watch the Walking Dead and I was like, that face is him.
Wait, you
Just
haven't
blue.
seen that movie?
No, up until when they released
Oh,
it.
I
I
thought
hadn't,
you were
I hadn't
like,
seen
you
it. No,
haven't
I've
seen
seen
it.
it
Yeah, I
now.
was
We've seen it.
That's
Bro,
a
but-
walkout.
dies.
I was like,
Wow.
it's too
Spoiler
late
alert.
for me. It's too late for me to pick them up. But
Yeah,
Han
no, that's
Solo
a really
dies
good
too.
pick.
Yeah.
Jesse, did you have a figure that you wanted to put up for nomination?
yes, you guys are all looking at her right there.
She's got some
Hot
cake.
Toys.
Big booty.
Dude,
Hot
she's
Toys,
got
Hella, look at that booty.
She's got cheeks for weeks.
She wasn't on my pre-order list until people started posting pictures of her on the forums and on Facebook. And look at that face. Everything. I wish she came with the rooted hair, but I'll forgive it. But look at that. Look
Yeah,
at the
dude.
horns, the booty, the face sculpt.
The
Yeah.
suit looks
The way you
incredible.
can pose her in different, and you don't have to worry about like creases.
There's only 2 things I would change on that.
I know what you're gonna say.
What?
The shoulders.
The shoulders, yeah, that's something
No.
that I was going to say.
Oh! Bigger horns? One more set of horns. Just have them
Like a
separate in the
magnetic?
box. Yeah,
Yeah.
pop them on there. And then I don't think the color is quite right. It's almost too blue at certain angles. Does that make sense?
I think it's an
No.
iridescent paint. I think it's just the angle. that
Yeah,
you're
it's just
is.
angles because
Yeah.
over here she's pretty
Yeah.
like dark green, emerald. I would say
Yeah.
emerald.
I'm just, over time, I'm also concerned about because it's like, what do
Like
you call that?
printed, almost screen
Yeah,
printed the
screen printed on there.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's a beautiful figure.
And she
Yeah.
does come with the cape. I don't have the cape. I want to see that cake in the back, so I have that showing.
It's like Kim Kardashian. Over there.
Yeah, she's Yoshi. She's a Yoshi.
Zach, did you want to talk about your Rainer? Do you want to talk about yours?
Yeah, so mine is the Hot Toys Sideshow Anakin Skywalker, San Diego Comic Con exclusive, the Dark Side one.
Nice.
Okay, so the Hot Toys Dark Side Anakin. Do you want to share why?
I just think they nailed it with that one. The face, the head sculpt is just, it really captures the dark side. Compared, if you stand it side by side with the light version, you can really see the difference. You can really see the hate, the anger.
The paleness on his skin, like we're looking at it side by side there.
yeah.
Oh wow, that is really stark.
And then you also have like the stand that it comes with, the droid for Mustafar.
Yeah.
There's just, it's gorgeous when it's lit up. My only gripe with that stand is it does not fit in a case.
Yeah.
You have to open air display it on that stand.
For me, I really liked the Hot Toys Light Side Anakin, which is also a figure that we have pulled up here. Shout out to Justin's Collectibles on YouTube. We've been referencing his videos for most of these.
He's a good guy.
I think that the price point of the light side Anakin is just so good. The fact that you were able to get it with like free shipping, box codes, and everything, it's just a really amazing figure. I do think it was kind of a cop out that we didn't get the dark side eyes as like an option, like a deluxe. But with that being said, I mean, he really only has the dark side eyes for a few moments in that film, and Manny's over here digging around, trying to concentrate here. Jesus, Manny.
I love booty.
I have no idea what you said for the past minute, so you
Okay,
even need to
so,
restart.
I think the dark side Anakin in particular kind of missed the mark, like Rainer said, where it can't fit in a DTOF. That's like, to me, the biggest strike against that figure. I really wish that the light side Anakin had the choking force hand, because if I remember correctly, he was blue-eyed when he was choking.
Yeah,
Padme.
only his eyes only change when he kills the separatists.
Only guys,
yeah.
only you guys.
And then
would
I
know
think
that.
when he's burning on,
Burning,
yeah. So that's my only complaint about this figure. I know that there's a third-party company that put out the cape, or not the cape, the cloak that you could buy separately.
Mm-hmm.
I do think that's an upgrade, but I've also seen people that have futzed the stock one to look really, really good. So for me, that's my figure of the year. I just think it's so good. The likeness, the fact that you get Dooku's saber, you get the LED light up if you're into that. Pretty good selection of hands. The boots have been surprisingly durable. I've been posing mine pretty dynamically, and I haven't had any issues with the boots. I have a backup set just in case. But for me, that's definitely got to be my 6 scale figure of the year. Sydney?
Ditto.
Ooh,
Hot
a rare
Toys.
agreement.
Light side Anakin. One, because it was the first, and the dark side one, I think the eyes are a little soft.
Yeah.
They're like the color's just a tad off. If you got the one that was at the con, the eyes are really good. But if you got the one that got shipped to you, they're a little soft. But the light side
I
Anakin,
noticed that. You're right. You're
yeah,
right.
the light side Anakin, again, it was first, so you could really only add to it with the dark side, but they didn't even really do that. So that's my choice. Everything you said, yeah, it's just the likeness, the shelf presence, standing there with my clones.
It looks
like,
fucking sick.
It's badass.
I think we can agree that Anakin would be one of our two choices for figure of the year. For our second, I don't know. Yondu was so good, but
Yeah.
Hella is hella good.
She.
I don't know. What do you guys think for our second figure? And then before we vote, we'll give one shout out.
I'm gonna go Yondu just because it comes with more.
Yeah, because you get a ton of stuff with Yondu, and I like the effects parts.
Yeah,
that you
Hella's
get.
just like what? It's a set of hands and a cape.
That's it, really.
Yeah.
So if she came with the rooted hair,
I think that would put it
that
over
would
the top.
Yeah,
should be
another head
the
sculpt,
yeah,
yeah.
for sure. But yeah, I'll change my way to Yondu for sure.
Okay, so before we vote, there is another 6 Scale podcast that we've been in contact with Brian and Chris over at 6 Scale Scavengers. They've
Yeah.
also done their award show this week. You can find them on several platforms. I usually listen to them on iTunes podcasts, but I believe they're on SoundCloud and a bunch of other platforms. Definitely give them a listen if you want to hear who's
Scale
there.
Scavengers.
Yeah, they did it where it was their top 5, and they used some data from themselves and their members. Really high tech. We're just sitting here in a room raising our hands, but it was really high tech the way they did it, and they came to a completely different conclusion, which I was glad. I thought it would have kind of been awkward if we had the exact same top figures. But give their podcast a listen to. It's a really good episode. Came out yesterday on Monday. So let's vote. So we have Anakin and Yondu. So for those who want light, and I guess we're going light side Anakin.
Well, just Anakin. They're essentially the same exact.
I think we
figure.
should pick one. I'm going with light side.
I'm going light side.
Zach,
I'm gonna have to keep my vote to dark side just because I like that figure.
Manny, Jesse. What do you guys think? Light side or dark side?
Dark
I say
side.
dark side.
Dark side.
Ooh, dark
3
side.
for dark
Anakin
side.
winning. Okay, so let's go. Let's vote. So for those who will vote for dark side Anakin, a show of hands.
Oh,
And for Yondu, there was one.
dang!
Dark side Anakin is our 2018 figure of the year. 1/6 go.
Yeah, I mean, again, the first and second are so close together that
Yeah,
a win
I'm
for
surprised.
Anakin is
I'm
a win
surprised.
for Anakin.
I thought I was gonna walk out of here with Anakin light side being the winner, but that's
Now
a little bit of
you're
upset.
walking out of here with no chicken nuggets and
Right.
no figure of the year.
So I know we talked in a
And
previous
walking
podcast.
out of here for the last time. How
Yeah,
dare you.
I know we talked on a few podcasts ago that I don't leave my house to go anywhere, and all week Jesse has been buttering me up talking about I make these chicken nuggets that taste like Chick-fil-A.
And send us
Oh.
pictures on top of
And
that.
a video of him
That's even
dipping them
worse.
into pickle sauce, which makes no sense, but he said it was amazing.
It was super good.
This
No,
morning-
you put pickles on your Chick-fil-A sandwich. Why
I take
would
my
you-
pickles out.
That makes a lot of sense.
What?
Yeah, I
I
don't.
feel like I don't even know who you are.
Okay, so this motherfucker texts us this morning and says, "Y'all want chicken nuggets?" And we all said yes.
Yeah, Manny's the only one who was like, no, I'm going to eat beforehand.
We
But I
get
was
here, and
No
I,
chicken
I,
nuggets.
I smell a suspicious lack of chicken.
like, I
scent.
haven't eaten all day. I was waiting for
Yeah,
these
literally, I
nuggets.
told my wife, Jesse's cooking for us. Don't worry.
I went to work at 1.
Bro,
didn't
Chick-fil-A
eat,
closes
got
in like
here.
35 minutes, so you
Oh
can
my
make it.
gosh!
Or get an Uber Eats over here. Chicken.
Biggest disappointment of 2018, Jesse's hosting party.
Yeah.
Like always.
At any rate, let's talk about our most anticipated figure of 2019. There's no
Yeah.
voting, just our most anticipated figures. Have some honorable mentions that I like to talk about. So
Oh, yeah.
So for me, my most anticipated, I kind of touched on this earlier, but the Azimuth Gandalf revisits. They haven't said if they're going to do them as slim figures or full new releases. They've teased some sculpts in the past of Gandalf the White and Gandalf the Grey, the newer ones. They look incredible. You know, whatever this is, I'm going to slap down the money for probably both of them. But that's my most anticipated figure of the year. For me, honorable mention, there's McFarlane. They're releasing in their Monsters line a 16-inch wingspan Viserion from Game of Thrones. It looks incredible. It's 10 points of articulation. You get a display base. You get a ice effect. Looks really awesome. I know 3-0 has teased their 1/6 Drogon, which we'll talk about next week on our Christmas special. But the price on that's going to be bananas. And for me, $26 gets you a Viserion. Definitely honorable mention. But the Lord of the Rings just means a huge amount to me. Around this time last year, my uncle passed away, and he was a big Lord of the Rings fan. And I was actually fortunate enough to pick up both the original Gandalf the Grey and Gandalf the White. But once the rumors started hitting that we were going to get a reissue of these figures, I sold them because I knew the prices were going to really drop from what I paid for them. So I can't wait until I can display my uncle's Lord of the Rings box sets alongside A16 Gandalf. I literally can't wait. It's going to be incredible. So those are my 2019 most anticipated and my honorable mention. Jesse, do you want to lead us off here?
Yeah, my figure would be John Wick. I think all the accessories he's coming with, and then with my 1-to-1 scale coins and the data card that he had, I think it's going to be super posable. You'll have tons of ways to pose him, and he's just going to look so good. But my honorable mention would be Sideshow's Catwoman, her premium format. I think she looks beautiful. I don't know. I think, I want her. She's not on pre-order yet, but we want her.
You're making hella jealous, bro.
That's all right. I mean, they both have good booties. But, I mean, John Wick is. He comes with coins, tons of guns, and that head sculpt.
And the pencil. Don't forget about the pencil.
The pencil's a big part of it. And the freaking pencil.
Yeah, they've shown pictures of what they're working on, and that's going to be a badass figure. I don't want to have two Keanu Reeves in my collection, so I'm trying to decide: do I want the John Wick? Do I want the Neo? Neo released this, I think actually today, and it looks incredible.
Yeah, I think Justin Collectibles just did his review today, his unboxing. So let me put it up in a second.
Okay, cool. Rainer, did you have a most anticipated that you wanted to talk about?
Yes, for me it'd be the Hot Toys Obi-Wan. You know, I've got the Dark Side Anakin, and I definitely want to get the Hot Toys Obi-Wan to go right beside it.
Ooh, it's a good pick. That figure looks awesome.
Yeah.
And shout out to Hot Toys. They didn't have to re-release Light Side Anakin. Immediately when episode Obi-Wan.
Where does it hurt? Oh, pretty much around the big bloody spot. Come inside. I'll get the Neosporin. Nah. Neo.
Sorry. I'm gonna be kicked off. So if you guys don't hear me anymore, I had to go with Neo. Sorry.
You're not.
We're gonna get taken off iTunes for this copyright violation.
No, we don't. Sorry, my apologies.
Manny. I totally lost my train of
We
thought.
can edit that out.
No, we can't.
Shout out to Hot Toys. We were going with that.
God, man.
Goodbye,
everybody's
guys.
You're
See y'all next year.
Manny just wants to leave. He's like, I'm out of here. Anyways, they really didn't have to re-release Anakin, and they did, because a lot of people were pretty pissed because he sold out like within minutes, maybe not within hours of Hot Toys announcing the Obi-Wan. So I got to give a shout out there. Dean, do you want to give your figure?
Only because I have him on pre-order, and I never pre-order anything. Obi-Wan again.
Nice.
But my honorable mention is for all from 3-0. Cersei Lannister, Arya Stark, Tyrion from the later seasons, Brienne, and
Are you gonna get the deluxe? You think?
and Drogon. Yeah,
I've never seen the movie. Sorry, you guys.
you've never seen Game of Thrones?
No.
Okay.
Or the movie.
We gotta come around.
Me neither.
Yeah.
I tried to once.
Okay,
but I
one. How dare you? Two. Those are my honorable mentions. But yeah, we'll talk about those more next week.
Nice.
Definitely, Manny.
Sorry, guys. Okay, so both of my picks are from Infinity War. Oh. So my most anticipated is, of course, Iron Man Mark 50.
Yes.
Can't wait. And my honorable mention is, and I'm super excited for him too. It's kind of hard to put him. Thanos.
Yeah, are you getting it?
Yeah, dude. Like I saw his Hulk here, and like he's pretty much the same size. So I'm like, I can just imagine.
Really?
Dude,
Wow.
I am so excited.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I might pre-order Thanos. We're still talking about it, but I think I might pre-order.
Yeah, I was talking to Zach on the way up here, and I was like, if I get this new job that I might get, I'm definitely pre-ordering Thanos.
Dude, so I know he comes with the rubber arms that bend, but that was kind of like I don't know if I want him. But he also comes with the
the flexed arm.
Yeah, so I'm like,
I would just be worried though, because the ED209 from RoboCop, the rubber on that one, it doesn't. I don't think it articulates, but it's still. Yeah. So you got to really treat that. I think they use, if I remember correctly, it's like Honda silicone grease, something like that, to grease the rubber.
Oh wow.
Or you could just never articulate them.
Well,
no, even without it,
he doesn't really go too extreme. He's always like a standing tall, So you don't have to worry.
No, it's gonna be. You just got to make sure you take care of it.
He doesn't fit in the D-top, so I don't know what I would do with him.
Well, you could use a spacer. Okay. I don't think Manny has a D-top, but you can use those grommets.
I know.
I'm just saying it could be done.
I'm just saying.
I regret selling mine.
Anyways,
every night.
with that weird Neosporin thing,
I had to. Y'all said Neo, and I remember that. Sorry,
being hijacked. That was like Iron Man through the Mandarin cutting into random stuff. I was like, what the hell's going on?
That was like 2003 Hulk. Have y'all seen that movie?
Dude, people are going to be like, did my podcast just end? They're going to be like, what the hell was that?
Sorry about that, guys.
Anyways. Sorry we're back without Manny something.
We'll be back next week, sans Manny.
Yeah.
Anyways, thank you guys for tuning in to our 2018 CW Awards. We hope to do this again next year.
If I'm lucky, if I'm invited back, I will definitely be back.
Thanks for joining us, guys. We'll catch you next week for our Christmas special. You guys want to say anything? Goodbyes? Or?
No one's gonna shout out the our figure, this award that I sort of made.
Oh well, we didn't really like it. There was no chicken nuggets.
There's no nuggets.
No, you're right. We took some video for the Instagram.
Man, rest in peace, headphone users.
We took some video for the Instagram. You're right. We didn't talk about it. We created a 1-to-1. We've been plugging on Instagram all day. I don't know. I didn't shout it out.
Wait, you said we? No,
we've been plugging this on our Instagram all day. It's a 1-to-1 CW Awards trophy. Our gold-plated C-3PO on our beautiful glossy brown base. We have a good idea for the what we're gonna do next year for our trophy, but for this year, I think it looks pretty good. It's funny because you sent us the graphic for the Instagram post, and Jesse right away was like, "I can make that,
dude." And I was telling you everything that I designed for the show. Jesse makes it.
Yeah, so we'll talk about it next week. Our CW icon. Sideshow did it first, but we did it best.
For the show.
But this is really incredible, Jesse.
Definitely.
Wait, who gets to take us home?
I do, because it was.
But it was Manny's figure, and he bought the base and did all the work to it. You literally did glued it. You literally did nothing.
It
wasn't even your design.
It was with my. I bought the microphone. Okay.
I think Jesse should keep it.
I think Jesse should keep it.
This is a travesty.
It's whoever's man.
All right, I'll take it.
I'll take it.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'll gladly display.
You don't have the
No, this
space
is where you
for
guys
it.
were like supposed to say, "Oh, all right, go ahead, keep it." What are you guys doing?
We're all selfish as hell.
We could do a sisterhood of the traveling trophy kind of deal.
Yeah.
Yeah, like in the league.
Like whenever someone has a bad week, they get to keep it.
Yeah,
you should probably keep it for life.
That's gonna make it an emotional support trophy, though. I don't necessarily.
Manny, can we use this C-3PO as your wedding topper? Also,
no, no, we
because it needs a companion.
R2D2, which we have here.
Dude, why didn't we put them together the whole show? Let's
just redo the show. Just got an R2 and got rid of your C-3PO.
Anyways, guys, thanks for tuning in. We'll catch you guys on our Christmas episode. Check us out on all our different social medias by searching Collecting Weekly. Have a good one. Talk to you later. Bye.
See you
Peace
guys.
out, you guys.
Peace.
Adios.
Bye.